Okay. Hi, boys and girls. As you're logging on, I see Miss Palmer is here. Miss Palmer, let me know you're here. Addison is already here. She's a go-getter. My phone is dinging also. All right. So, as you are coming into the classroom, just make sure you sign in like you did before. So I'm gonna wait a couple of minutes as people are coming in, and then we'll start math. So just sign in as you're coming in. Tell us you're here. Miss Palmer, can you hear me? Miss Palmer? Oh, Belle's here. Hi, Belle. I hope you're dressed up in your finest Belle outfit. You better be. Just kidding. Chloe, you better have a bow on. All right. So I have a couple of people in here. Miss Palmer is watching. I need her to say something so I know she's here. Miss Palmer, where are you? Okay. So what we're going to do today for, okay, there she is. Okay. All right, what we're gonna do today for math is I'm gonna review some of the problems that we haven't done in a while to make sure that you are going to be ready for your math test tomorrow. And then you have a math test tomorrow. Um, and then um, and then I'll do some problems on my whiteboard back here. It's the best I could do for you. So I can only do one problem um at a time. Um, Before I get started, though, I'm just going to talk to you about some things that I noticed in the Bible lesson earlier, and that I'll kind of repeat it a little bit as we're going. I want all of you to think of this as a classroom. I know that it's like you and me and a computer. So, um, so there are some rules that I want to lay down. First of all, the chat room is not supposed to be used as chatting with each other. So do not chat with each other. It is only used to chat with me. You need to add, it's used to talk to me about things. If you have a question over things that we're talking about, then you write it in there. Okay. Earlier, some of you were writing things. Miss Palmer is a moderator of the questions and not really the questions, but the comments. So if you write things that are inappropriate or have nothing to do with what we're talking about, she will delete them and they won't show up. If you continue to write inappropriate things, then we will block your comment altogether, and then your parents will just have to um, email me questions or um, later in the day. Um, Earlier, I cannot teach you guys on here and see a bunch of like weird comments popping up on the side. But if you have real questions, that's what I want you to do. Okay. When the lesson first starts, it's fine for you to say hi, like I'm here. This is Sammy, this is Quinn, this is I want you to do that. But then after that, you just need to be silent unless you have a question. Don't talk to each other. Just like you would in class when I was teaching. You wouldn't be saying like, are you gonna be online later to each other? Don't be doing that kind of stuff. Don't be talking about other games. Don't be saying anything about what I'm doing other than if you have a question. Um, I don't wanna block comments, but I will because it's too distracting to each other, and it's way too distracting to me. I'm brand new to this. I told you this is my brother's headset. I'm learning, okay? So you guys have to follow the directions and rules. I'm trying to help you and your parents the best I can. So, we need to follow the rules so that we are learning. And if you're all talking to each other, you're not listening to me. And I know that for a fact. So just pay attention to what I'm doing. If you have questions, then you type them in. If you cannot do that, then Miss Palmer will delete it. If you keep on doing it, then we're gonna block you. Then we'll email your parents and say, so and so was not listening. Okay? So just treat it like this is a real classroom. So then you wouldn't do it in the real classroom. So just don't do it here. Okay? Sound good? Thank you. I appreciate your help with that. And I know we won't have to block anyone because you are all amazing and you all listen. So um, thank you. And let's get started. Okay, so you were supposed to do pages 219 and 220. This is just a general review. So have your math book um, out because I'm going to go over a problem, the very first problem up here, just to review um, how to do this problem. Okay. Um, And remember, when we're doing these problems, we are doing them, you're finding a common denominator first, okay? When you're adding or subtracting. If your denominators are not the same, then you have to find a common denominator. So what's a common denominator for 3 and 9? Somebody can type it in. Common denominator, 3 and 9. What do you think? I know you guys can figure. Very good. Colin said 9. Okay, so I'm going to move my numbers over. So I have 16 and 4 nines. And then I have just 31. Just, it doesn't have anything. Then I have 27 and blank 9. How many times does 3 go into 9? How many times does 3 go into 9? 3. Very good, Sabrina. So 3 times 1 is 3. And then when we add, we're going to have 4 plus 3 is 7 over 9. And then when we add our whole numbers, what's our final answer when we are adding up our whole numbers here? This is a problem I'm just giving you. So what is our whole number? We have 6 plus 1 is 7. 7 plus 7 is 14. 3, 5, 6, 7. Do I have to reduce anything? No, I don't, right? And then I'm done. My problem is over. Okay, so that's how you do when you are there goes my board. Oh no. See, I told you, work in progress. I'm okay. I'm okay. It's all right. Okay. So when I am looking at that, I'll have to put my board back up. Hold on. Technical difficulties. Let me erase this. All right. So if you're looking at your paper, look at paper. Yeah, I'm fine. Didn't hit me. We're on page. This is not on a math page. That was just an example. If you look at page number 219, the first question is just like this. Okay. So if you look at 5 and 3/8, 6 and 1/2, and 8 and 3/4, my common denominator is what? What's the common denominator for 8, 2, and 4? 8. Very good. Colin said 8. Okay, so if I'm writing this problem out, then I have this. This is not going to work. We're going to have to do something else. You're gonna have to just listen to me today. I'll figure it out. All right, so we're gonna have my first problem is gonna be 5 and 3/8, then 6 and 4/8, and 8 and 6/8. So then we have 19 and 3/8. And when we divide 13/8, what do we get? You have to divide. 19 and 3/8. 13 divided by 8 is what? Thirteen divided by 8. First one that says it is a winner. 13 divided by 8. Very good. Oh, Colin, you are on fire. 1 and 5/8. Very good. So now you add that to your 19, and your final answer will be for number 1. You should have your whole numbers equal 19, so you add it together and you get what? I know you hear the cat, just ignore the cat. You add 1 and 5/8 and you get, very good, 20 and 5/8 for the first one. So everyone, any questions on how we do those adding ones? Those are on your test tomorrow. Okay. All right, the next one's the same way. You just do common denominators. Sammy, you have a question? Okay, Sammy, type in your actual question. Sammy, what's your question? Type it in. I can't, when you write, yeah, I don't know what that means. So what's your question? You don't have a question? Okay, we're good? Moving on? Okay. All right. So the next one. So remember when we do, the second one is a common denominator. When we have a whole number, when we multiply. Okay, I'm just going to use a piece of paper to show you this since I don't have my whiteboard. So if I have 4, I'm going to do number 3. 4 times 3/8. So remember this when we have these? Okay, this is letter C. Okay, how do I multiply by a whole number? How would I do this on my test tomorrow? How do I make this so I can multiply? Okay, what, Gianna? Okay, Colin said put a 1 under the denominator. Very good. So you should have 4 like this. This is what your problem should look like. The bottom number. Now, let me ask you this. Can you cancel anything? Yes, you can, right? Okay, Gianna, write your question. Gianna has a question. Go ahead, say it. Gianna, write your question. I can read it. Write it. For 20 and 5/8, what? What's your question? Yes, that's letter A. Yes. Okay, so we're going to do 4 and 8. We're going to cancel 4 and 8 by number 4. Okay? So I'm canceling 4 and 8 by 4. 4 becomes 1, 8 becomes 2. Multiply across, I get 3/2. Can I keep it this way? No, I have to divide. So I'm going to do 3 divided by 2. My cat wasn't supposed to be out here. So here's my final answer. 1 and 1/2. Yes, we are in the math books. This is question number C at the top. Got it, everyone? This is letter C. 1 and 1/2. Yes, we are on math page 219. Okay, everyone understand that for your test tomorrow, how to multiply with a whole number. Chloe, you said no. You don't understand? Do you need me to do another one? That was question 3, yes. Chloe, do you want me to do another one? No, we did not do B, Quinn. You have to do B on your own. We didn't do B. You can do B on your own. We on page 219. Okay. Moving on to we are not gonna do the green problems. You didn't do the green problems, right? Addison, we are on page 219. Question 3 is 1 and 1/2. Here. Okay. Okay, the top part, we're not gonna review more of those. The word problems you should be able to do. Okay, factoring. I told you in the directions. Yes, we did A. A was 20 and 5/8. Okay. Factoring. I told you in the directions. I'm reading the comments. That's why when you see me pause, I'm reading what you guys are writing. Yes, we cross out the greens. Okay. Gianna, you're gonna be blocked if you keep saying hi. You don't need to do that, okay? Okay. All right, at the bottom, on your test tomorrow, you have to be able to do factoring like in the problems at review number 3, where it says factoring. You have to be able to do that. I told you before and in the directions that you cannot write 1 in the number. This is factoring like when we did 1, 2, 3, like 6, and then the number. You cannot on your test tomorrow write 1 and 96, 1 and 81. You have to come up with another 2 other numbers. Okay, so I gave an example on the Brenweb for 96, that said, that, like, if we look at problem 96, that we cannot write 1, but it's even, so can you write 2? Yes, you can. Okay. Can you write 3? Yes. Okay. What we cross out is on RunWeb. I'm not going over what we crossed out right now. You're gonna have to look at that on RunWeb. Okay. All right. So like 25. What could we write for 25? What are the factors of 25? What's a factor you could write besides 1? Don't write 1. What could you write? What's a factor you could write? Well, you could write 5. Yeah, 5. Eh, you don't wanna write 5 and 5, but you could write 5 and 25. Yes, but don't write 1. Do not write 1. You could write 5 and 25, that would be fine. How about, 81? What'd you write for 81? What could you write for 81? What could you write for 81? 3 and 27? Yep. What else? 9? Okay. 81, what else? Um, can you divide 81 by 5? You gotta be able to divide the number by the number you think. 3 and 27, 9, 81. Okay. How about 16? 16 is an even number. So all even numbers can be divided by what? You could write 4. What else? It's also even. 16, 2, 8. You don't have to write 16 because you already found 3. 2, 4, 8. So you don't have to write 16. You only need to write its own number, like if it's like 25, because then you can't find another number. So you don't have to do that. Okay. Uh, how about, yeah, how about 40? 40 is even. 40 also ends in 0. So think about your divisibility rules. 2, 10, 5, 8. 25 was 5 and 25, Addison. Okay. How about 64? It's even. 64 is a lot. 64 is a lot. Yes. 2. 2, yep. Yeah, 2, 8. 64 can be divided by what? 32? Yes. 8. 4. Okay, so as you're doing these, tomorrow on your test, when you see these on your paper, just think about your divisibility rules. You guys are figuring them out just fine, I see on this. You have to figure out what you could divide the number by. And you cannot write 1, okay? Because they all can be divided by 1. That's a given. So on your test tomorrow, when they give you numbers, do not write 1. And don't write a double. So if they gave you 36, you don't need to write 6 and 6 because 36 is, you could write 2, there are other numbers you can write. So you need to figure out if you need to write the list of factors out, then you can. Okay? Does everyone understand? Do not write 1. Okay? That should be something that we understand for tomorrow. I'm going to go over specifically before I sign off that exactly what you have to know for your test tomorrow. But I'm just making sure you know, do not write 1 because all of these are divisible by something else besides 1. And you can always divide them. Remember your divisibility rules, okay? They're all divided by something, okay? On the back side, that's just reviewing. You should be able to do all of that. You should be able to do all of the stuff on the back, okay? I'm not going to go over every single problem that's back there. Remember when we changed something? I'm going to set up my whiteboard better for well, not tomorrow, you have a math test tomorrow, but for Friday, so you can actually, well, secure it to somewhere so it doesn't fall. But look at, you could do all the backside, but I want you to go down to homework number 9, changing improper fractions. Just want to review how to do that. So if I have 5 and 3/8, remember when we have these kinds of problems, you're going to take your whole number and you're going to do it your whole number times your denominator plus your numerator over, and then you're going to keep your denominator the same. So it's going to look like this. Okay. And then you're going to solve it. So what's 5 times 8 plus 3? Somebody tell me. 5 times 8 plus 3. 43. And then you're going to just keep that over the same denominator. So this would be your final answer, 43/8. So this is how we do these, okay? So if you have 2 and 4/9, you're going to do 2 times 9 plus 4 over 9, like this. So somebody tell me, what's 2 times 9 plus 4? So we get 22 over 9. And then that would be your final answer, 22 over 9. Okay? So everybody understand how to do those? So let me tell you before I let you go what's on your test specifically, okay? Can I say final answer? Okay, good job. Good job, Cherith. Okay. Let me tell you what's on your um test tomorrow. So you need to know your measurements. So if you want to write this down somewhere on a piece of paper, or usually review in class, but if you want to write this down somewhere in the back of your book, if you have your book, or you can find it online. Oh, the last one, the answer was 22/9. Okay, for your test tomorrow, in the back of your book, if you go to the back of your book, starting on page 343. 343. Is a handbook, okay? Is a handbook, and I'm gonna you can find the answers to these. So, if you want to write this down, or you can go back and watch this video, okay? Um, but you need to know how many days are in a year for your test, how many ounces are in a pound, how many hours are in a day, quarts in a gallon, centigrams in a gram, inches in a foot. Okay, those are what's going to be on your test tomorrow. So if you want to go back and watch this video, this is what's on your test tomorrow. Everything else on your worksheet, you're doing on your own. Okay? This I'm telling you what's on your test. Everything else on your worksheet, you're doing on your own. So, you need to know how many days are in a year, how many ounces are in a pound, how many hours are in a day, how many quarts are in a gallon, how many centigrams are in a gram, and how many inches are in a foot. And also what's on your test tomorrow is like basic addition, subtraction, Roman numerals. So review Roman numerals. Those are in the back of your handbook also. Okay. Um, and then you need to know what's adding, basic adding, subtraction, division, multiplication. And then you need to know the factoring, like what we did together on page 219, section 3, where you cannot write 1, but you can write 2 other numbers. You need to know that. That's on your test tomorrow. Okay. And then there's multiplying of fractions, like what I did, like this kind of multiplying is going to be on there. Okay. And changing a mixed number to a whole number, we didn't practice that, but that's the opposite of what I did today. So if I have, let's just say I have this 14 thirds. This is on here tomorrow on your test. So this is not a proper fraction, it's improper. They want you to change it back to a mixed number. You would divide. So you would take 14, and I'll show you when I'm done, divided by 3. So 3 goes into 14 how many times? Wait for you to tell me. How many times does 3 go into 14? Come on, Scarlett. You can do it. 4. 4 times 3 is 12. You subtract, you get 2. Then you take your remainder. So when you do the work, you divide this into 14. Then you take your remainder and you put it over the number on the outside. And then you have your mixed number. That's how you change an improper fraction to a mixed number. Okay? Okay, so that'll be on your test tomorrow. Then circling proper fractions. Then there's some questions about mixed numbers and reducing. Okay? So, does anybody have any questions specific to your test or anything we did before I sign off? You're all writing 4, 6, and I don't know why. 6 or 4. Yes, we will do math every day. Tomorrow, we're not going to do math because you're going to have a math test. Unless we have a math test, we will do math every day. If you're good, you can sign off. But if you have a question, I will answer a question for you. If you want me to do something else, I can. Otherwise, I'm going to let you work on your worksheet. And then if you have any other specific questions, you can email me. So tomorrow there is no math class. There will be a Bible class, but not math because you have a math test. Miss Palmer will be sending your math test to you. Do your math test. You have 24 hours to do the math test. Then you send it back to Miss Palmer. There's no live math class tomorrow because you have a math test. But on Friday, I'll let you know what time, but probably at the same time, probably 1 o'clock. Okay? All right. Is everybody good? There is a division problem. Yeah, 1 division problem. All right. Email me if you have any other questions. Finish the worksheet that I gave you. And I love you all. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.